Hi, I'm Dr. Cindy, your host of the Positively Altered podcast. I am a chiropractic internist and nutritionist, and here on the podcast, we love to discuss everything health related, physical, emotional, spiritual, or anything else that can fall into a healthy category. Today's episode is no exception, and we're going to talk about your divine imprint. What does that actually mean? What is your identity? And do you struggle with that sometimes? Do you feel that sometimes you don't have the right to be picky about the choices that you make in your life? Or is it really important that we do become picky and we figure out what it is that we really want to do so that we can serve our best selves? Today's guest is an old friend of mine from high school. Yes, we went to school together quite a few decades ago, and I'm super excited to hear what she's up to because it's been a long time. So take a quick break, listen to our sponsors, and we are going to be right back on the Positively Altered podcast.
Hello, my name is Heather Lord, and I am the COO of Professional Health Products. Cutting corners is an all too common practice in the dietary supplement industry. When my father founded Professional Health Products, he sourced the cleanest, most biologically active ingredients from around the globe. Today, that commitment remains, which is why the finest healthcare practitioners, like Dr. Cindy, have trusted us for more than 40 years. We oversee the entire process in our manufacturing facility, from sourcing and formulation to manufacturing and labeling. Today, we offer over 300 unique products that can be tailored to the nutritional and homeopathic needs of each individual. Most recently, we launched a proprietary genetic test, allowing our practitioners to get even more dialed in to their patients' health. To learn more about Professional Health Products, please talk to your practitioner or visit our website at phpltd.com.
Today, your life is going to be altered. I'm Dr. Cindy.
Welcome to Infinity. We have worked hard to create an electronic claims website that is simple and user-friendly. This is the public side. You can log into your personal web portal here. This is your dashboard. You can personalize it to your liking here. Our main focus has been to allow you to submit and edit claims as easy as possible. You will find our claims editor and claims processing is simple to use and straightforward. Our quick action bar is where you can find your most important information. Most of these icons will take you directly to the claims the number represents. You can easily view if you have any messages in your inbox of any unread alerts by looking for these blue numbers. To view the rest of our training videos to get the most of your Infinity experience, click this icon. We hope you find this web portal simple and easy to use. Thanks for letting us serve you.
I'm Dr. Cindy. Who wouldn't want to join me for the Positively Altered podcast? Thank you for hanging in there through our commercial announcements. We're so glad that you're back. I am Dr. Cindy Howard, the Positively Altered podcast, and I am so thrilled to share with you my guest, Margaret White. But before we say hello, Margaret, I've got to tell everybody a story. So here's the deal. Out of all of the guests that I have ever had on this show, you are the only one that I can say goes back almost 40 years from my life. We actually went to school together. Yeah, I know, like almost I know I'm dating us. I'm not supposed to tell everybody how old we are, but almost 4 decades ago, we have been connected and now back doing similar things in our world. So I am so excited. Welcome to the podcast, Margaret. It's great to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. So amazing to be with you, Cindy.
Right. So what I didn't tell you is this is also an opportunity for us to, share stories that nobody wanted to know from high school, right? Like, was there anything that comes to mind back?
Oh, crap.
Right.
Oh, there's a lot that comes to mind you on your podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's at the end, you got to stay tuned to learn all the dirty stories, right? That nobody wants to know about. So, all right, we'll just dive right into current day, what we're doing and what's going on, because quite frankly, you are making just a world of difference in the lives of so many people. And I want to jump right in, right? You do what we call transformational empowerment. And that's a big, big sentence, right? In terms of helping people, but it's really even more than that. So share with me exactly what you're doing to help us in a space where we overwork, overachieve, overdo, over everything. And I want to just jump into that.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got me on the overs because that's one of the things that I really help people through. We right now are in a day and time where we are overcommitting, overachieving, overperforming, overscheduling, over apologizing. And we've been told, in essence, that that's how we should be doing things. But at the end of the day, it's really leading to a phenomenon which we know is burnout, but now really is being linked to what they're calling quiet cracking. And where everybody in the workplace is just working their butts off. They're trying to achieve, going for the next level, the next level, the next level, but still never feeling that satisfaction. And oftentimes it's because, number one, either somebody's climbing the ladder and it's the wrong ladder, or the ladder's up against the wrong building that they're climbing. Oftentimes people just aren't in the right space. They're not aligned with what they really want to be doing. And they're feeling as if there's no choice. But ultimately there is. And ultimately, the stories that we have in our subconscious and in our own internal narratives are what are really holding us back. And so when I talk about transformational empowerment, I get down to the root. Not just strategies, not just the mindset, which is layering affirmations on top of your subconscious, which leads you to make these decisions or stay stuck, but actually to shift that to make sure that you're really living your life and your career from your truth. And when you come from that space, all of your choices become obvious. And so really working with people at the end of the day to get to the authenticity of who they are, what really lights them up inside, and what's been holding them back. How do we rewrite the narrative and unscript the subconscious that's been secretly running in the background?
Okay, so there's a lot we've got to unpack in that paragraph that you just gave us. But I want to go back a little bit to just this concept of over, right? Because I'm probably an over everything, maybe not an over apologizer, because I tend to only apologize when it's really necessary. So I might take myself out of that one, but I over. So where is the line to understanding in our space ambition and drive and productivity? Mm-hmm. And then crossing that boundary to what we're now labeling as the overs, because I think that's a tough line for us to recognize, because I'll sit back and go, no, I'm ambitious and I'm driven and I'm motivated. Yeah. And yet most people that would look at my life probably agree I'm overing quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, the over line for everybody is a little different. Okay. But what you start finding, if you've really crept into the overs and they're seeping into all areas of your life, you're going to start to feel that inner nudge, that gut that's telling you something's just not right and it's not fitting in my life. You're leading yourself to exhaustion, right? And an exhaustion that you're doing, and you're accomplishing a lot, but at the end of the day, it's not even a fulfilling exhaustion. You're not even really looking at your life saying, gosh, I really achieved that, because it seems like you're always going for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And so many people get caught in this cycle, and I liken it to Groundhog Day. Do you remember that movie, Groundhog Day?
I do.
Yeah. Every day is the same, and you get up and you do it all again and again and again, and you kind of know what to expect. And then here you are, you have all these accomplishments, but yet you wake up at the end of the day, very much like I did 10 years ago, and say, okay, here I am. I've achieved everything that everybody told me I should have. And at the end of the day, I still don't feel that joy in my life that I should. I still know that there is something more, and I still know that something is missing. And I went on a quest to find that. I'm a self-proclaimed overachiever, perfectionist, etc. And at the end of the day, I think we all give a lot in different areas, but knowing our own bandwidth and knowing, is it really aligned with what brings us joy and what really is fulfilling? That's how we really know if we're really into the overs that are negatively impacting our life. And so many women and men I see in their careers get to that juncture.
It's interesting. And I'm curious, in your opinion, how common it is for us, though, to get to that point where it's almost like if we would have been able to recognize it early on, we wouldn't have gotten to that end point of the quiet cracking. right? And do you find that most of us, that's the challenge, is we break, right? We get to the point where we break first versus the recognition that we're on that path in order to change it.
Yeah. You know, awareness is the first thing that I have to work on with my clients, because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And so if you're following a script that somebody has sold you saying, well, you have to do A, B, and C in order to get D, you know, everybody says you have to do this, do X, Y, Z in order to have whatever it is you want. And then you will be fulfilled. Then you will be happy. Then you'll have joy in your life. It's backwards. It's really backwards, because we've got to come from our state of being and who we are. And if we can align our lives with that, then we're going to be able to take inspired action and do the things that we need to. And then we'll have the things that we want in our life. But we've got to flip that script. And so, yes, actually, a couple of the women I've been working with are on the verge of really saying, I know I could really be in a dangerous place if I don't kind of stop what I'm doing now. So kudos to those that are in their, mid 30s that are saying, hey, this might not be the ladder I want to go up before you wake up at 55 and say, hey, oh my gosh, how did I even get here? Like, I participated in my life and I know I did everything, but maybe they weren't all conscious choices.
So are there good questions or exercises that just in general we can do or ask ourselves to start this journey?
For sure. And one of them is, do you have joy in your life? And if so, how are you expressing that? Because what I found for myself personally, my weekends became work ends. And I was living, right? I was basically living for my vacations to go, out of the country 6 weeks out of the year, 2 weeks here, a week there, down to the Caribbean, and always kind of living for that next vacation. But I wasn't living life in between. So I was overing in all these areas, but I was underliving in my daily life. And underliving in your daily life is certainly one of the first signs that you can find that points you to the fact that you are really not living in alignment. Because if you're not spending time with the family, with the friends that you want to be with, if you're not doing things in your daily, weekly life that really bring you fulfillment and joy and give you peace and an opportunity to pause, then you might want to ask yourself some serious questions. Is this really the path that I want to be on? So many people, it's fascinating when I unpack their narrative about their identity, which I do a lot of identity recalibration. So many people ended up in careers or jobs or positions because they thought that that was just the natural trajectory, or there was some type of a preset expectation. And it could have even been when they were 10 or 11 years old or 20, thinking, oh, well, my father was a doctor, so I'm going to carry on that path. Or, well, I have all the lawyers in my family, so, it's a natural fit for me. But meanwhile, they've given up their artistry that they're so talented at, So is this really something that's bringing me joy? Because at the end of the day, the people that I work with are usually just working for the paycheck, and they are not necessarily getting out of it what really lights them up.
Yeah, it's interesting to me, that word work, because I'll tell you, I work 7 days a week, but work to a lot of people has such a negative connotation to it, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, work is my joy. I actually love what I do. I don't have a weekend or a work end. It's one continuation of the things that I participate in that do bring me joy. And I wonder if societal's message of, we show up at 8 a.m., we go till 5, we get a lunch, we have to do this in order to make enough money to provide for our family. That whole mantra has actually become detrimental to your point of, why can't the things that we do to earn a living also bring us joy? And why does it have to be a 9 to 5, 8 to 5 workday, right? That we look forward to, work is over. It's Friday at, 5 o'clock somewhere, right? And how much do you think of sort of the lifestyle that we've created in this country and maybe worldwide has participated in this quiet cracking because of the negative connotation of the word work?
Yeah, I think it plays a lot into it. You go over to other countries to visit, and their daily work life looks very different than ours. They'll pause middle of the day. You'll see entire families, 4 generations sitting around a table at lunch at 2 o'clock before they go back to work. And it's a lot more leisurely. You'll see European countries that'll close down. Italy, August, they'll close down an entire manufacturing plant for the entire month so they can go on holiday. And they've built that into their yearly schedule. It's just something to happen. But here, the concept here in the United States, I believe, is that more is better. And that is not always the case. And as you said, your work cadence, you still make time for your family. You still make time for your friends. And your work brings you great joy. But to spend an afternoon for you on a Sunday doing something that you love in your work, that works for you. But you have the freedom to make your schedule. And that's one of the things that so many people have that's missing in their work life. And I'm not even going to call it balance because I don't believe that exists. Work-life harmony is that they don't have that choice. They're stuck at a desk till maybe 9 o'clock at night to get something done. And so many people are looking for freedom in their work and in their careers, which is why you see a lot of people that are in this quiet cracking moving on to quiet quitting. They want to go out and find their happiness in doing something that brings them freedom and joy. And so you see a lot of C-suite people going out and creating their own businesses where they can have a schedule of freedom and they can work and support people in an area that they absolutely love.
I imagine, though, just the quitting, right, to move to something else, though, is still pretty detrimental to a lot of people because it really comes back down to that internal mechanism of finding what feeds your soul, right? So for those people that aren't happy or don't find the joy, what recommendations do you have to make sure they're not just switching from job to job, just replacing one crack with another, right? So that they can truly find what feeds their soul. What steps do we have to take to do that?
Yeah, well, it really comes down to finding what I call your divine imprint. And a lot of that does begin with identity work. Because at the end of the day, if you've not really unpacked who you are, what you value, and what you stand for, just moving to another job isn't going to fix it. It's not going to change it, right? So a lot of people you might see think, oh, well, maybe it's just leadership. And then they move into a similar space, into another organization that has similar issues, right? That just doesn't align with their values. A lot of people don't look at what they need first. They look at what they can provide. And I think that needs to be flipped because you have gifts and talents, but at the end of the day, you also have to look at your needs when identifying, what's your next step in your career. And, do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to start your own business? Are you looking for a totally different position to do something different? And so really exploring what are your passions? What really connects you to your work? What type of leadership would you want to work with? A lot of people feel they can't be picky, but I think that's where you end up putting yourself in that position where you're going to sit another couple years and just end up in the same situation saying, well, okay, how did I get here? Still not happy, right? So it starts with self. It's an internal game, Cindy, more than it is external. And if people can really unpack and get to the layers of who they are, it's going to make all the difference.
So I love the concept of just sitting with it from the perspective of reflection to make sure that what you valued when you made the decision, you now still currently value moving forward. So can you leave our listeners just with maybe a couple tools or suggestions as they move through their life and their challenges and figure out where they want to be, how they can best do this?
Yeah. Well, and it really comes down to the alignment piece being connected to your values, right? What is it that you really value? And are those values showing up in your daily life? In every area of your life, not just your career, but family life, relationships, friends, time for yourself to pursue your passions, etc. And one of the first indicators when I'm working with a woman that we do together is we really unpack her calendar. Because believe it or not, your calendar shows you what you're prioritizing. And I cannot tell you how often I've seen women who are prioritizing things that honestly are not on their top 10 list of what they would value. because they're still living in rhythm with, what it is they believe somebody expects them to do. So with that, look at your calendar, look at the decisions that you're making. How are you aligning your daily life? If you really value meditation, if you really value reading, if you really value time to make it to your child's soccer game every Wednesday night, clear your calendar around it. The rest of the world will schedule around you, for sure.
Oh my gosh. So when my executive assistant, Julie, puts a lunch break in and I schedule over that because I don't want to eat, I should probably not be allowed to touch my calendar.
I think Julie might find a new lock feature in your calendar for you.
Oh no, I think I'm so sorry you just said that out loud because I'm pretty sure you can implement that like today. And no, but she does. And actually, I love that advice because she does. I'll tell you, I was a train wreck that way for a very long time with my schedule. And she's done an awesome job with time blocking. And again, those things that are important and nixing things that aren't and moving things around and right. And all of those things. And yeah, I still override her once in a while. And I'm going to have to stop doing that. Now that I said that out loud, I think I'm going to own that. So that's going to be my challenge moving forward from this podcast is to allow the commitment to have the calendar honor the priorities, really honor the priorities. And I love that because I think a lot of us, it's actually an easy lift. So thank you. I think it's a great starting point.
It is. And if your calendar's aligned with your values, you're going to be in so much greater harmony in your life. And believe me, every one of us put things on our calendar that we really don't have to do.
Yeah. So I don't see anything in my future where it says shopping for cowboy boots.
Well, maybe you need to add it.
Actually, I think it's probably a good thing that it's off. Anyway, I love the advice. We are going to take a quick break and listen to our sponsors that are really important to us. And then we are going to be right back with Margaret White, who's going to answer some rapid fire questions. Let's see what she can come up with.
You got it.
All right. We will be right back. Hang tight. The Positively Altered Podcast. This is your weekly dose of Dr. Cindy, the Positively Altered Podcast. Stop. Hit that follow button now and spread the love with Positively Altered. Welcome back. I'm glad you hung through the commercial break because you know our sponsors are really important to us here at the Positively Altered Podcast. I am with my special guest, Margaret White, and we're going to have some fun with some questions.
Let's go.
All right. What is one place on earth you have never seen that you really want to go?
Oh, Greece. Santorini.
Okay. Anywhere in Greece, or you want to do the whole country?
Santorini. And I see myself in one of those all white building landscapes wearing a bright royal blue dress that is like a 12-foot train just blowing in the wind.
Nice. Do you have the dress? Do you have it already? Are you ready for the trip?
I do not have it already, but I will be making my way there one day soon.
Okay. Well, I think you got to put that on your calendar.
I think that that's a great idea.
All right. Awesome. If you need help, call Julie. She'll get it added for
Sounds
you.
Great.
She's really good.
I've got her on speed dial.
All right. What is the weirdest food combo that you love?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Pickles and chicken salad.
There's a theme with pickles on this podcast. You are not the first person to incorporate pickles.
Oh, really? It's the umami, I think. It's the umami.
All right. Pickles and chicken salad, you
chicken
said?
Salad, but it has to be the bread and butter pickles.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Very specific. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be a podcast one day where I eat every combination of food with pickles that's being recommended. I see that in the future, and maybe we'll have you back then to as I sample it to hear my reaction to whether or not I enjoy it.
You could call it Pick a Pickle.
Pick a Pickle. We come up with some really stupid, weird ideas here. So see what we follow through on. Okay, if you had to swap lives with a cartoon character, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. Cartoon character. Well, it's probably one that I emulate in my everyday life still, and it's Lucy, because ever since I've been a child, I'm that type of person everybody comes to talk to. And I picture her with the, little nickel sign, and then eventually it went up to 25 cents above her head for giving advice. That's me.
Nice. I love that. That's a great one. I love that. What is the weirdest skill you have or the most useless superpower?
The most useless superpower. I can cross one eye.
So one eye moves?
Yeah.
My son can do that. It's weird.
I found out about it accidentally when I was about 5. And I remember my mother telling me not to keep doing it because it might stay stuck, which it didn't. And how I know this is because I kept trying it because everyone thought it was.
Right. Can you do each eye one at a time or only one eye?
It's the right one.
It's the right one. All right. I can't remember which one my son can do. I'm going to have to check to see. Maybe there's a statistic that it's always the right one. It is a weird skill. If you were to create a new holiday, what would we celebrate?
Oh my goodness. If we were to create a new holiday, well, that's a stumper. A new holiday. Wow. I'm usually not left speechless, Cindy. Seriously, a brand new holiday. Don't know what to give you on that one.
All right. That's okay. You know what? When you think of it, you send us a note back and we'll add it to a podcast. All right. Good. Really important one for me. I hope it's an important one for you. I would love to know what your favorite word is, or a word that describes you or that you emulate with, or that's going to be your mantra for the next, months or years to come. Is there any one word that you just absolutely love?
Yes. Embodiment.
I love that.
Yeah. I spent so many years in my former career doing. And I was really good at it, and I'm still really good at it. But what I've found that adds so much to our life and the fulfillment that we're seeking is when we can embody who it is we're really divinely meant to be. And so my quest in my life is to be that person and to bring other women to that for themselves.
Well, it certainly sounds like you're on the right path to doing that. I just love that mindset. Margaret, how do we get a hold of you, find you, follow you, work with you? Where can everybody get in touch?
Oh, yeah, great. So I can be reached at my website at www.margaretwhitecoaching.com. And I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn at Margaret White Coaching as well. So I'd love for anybody to connect with me. And I also offer revolutionary shift consultations if anyone's interested.
And where do we check out the podcast? Because you're also hosting your own.
I am. And that is Live, Love, Thrive. And you can find me over on Apple and Spotify.
And Margaret, lastly, what was your favorite thing about doing the podcast today?
My favorite thing, Cindy, is actually being with you. As you said early, as we started out, we go way back. And we have a lot of fun stories, a lot of great memories. And it's just great to be back with you and to have reconnected over the years, and just to be two empowered women on their paths, and just to be able to sit here and spend time with you has been a true blessing.
Oh, the blessing is also mine. For anybody who wants to check out what we're doing in our community, please check us out at drcindyspeaks.com, or send us an email at hello@drcindyspeaks.com. We'd love to hear from you. Check out the book, Positively Altered, Finding Happiness at the Bottom of a Chemo Bag, on Amazon or wherever your favorite books are sold. Margaret, my favorite thing was very similar. And what I love is when we go back, quite a few decades, right? Yeah. I love the idea that there's this concept of no matter who it is, there's always the potential for reconnection. And on some level, time just seems to not make a difference, right? Correct. Decades and decades. And it was almost like yesterday that we were back in, oh my goodness, high school together. So This has really been a treat for me and very fun. And I love seeing that you're doing something wildly amazing with your life. and sometimes even equally important with other people's lives. So thank you for what you do and for being a guest. I hope that this podcast has left all of you positively altered.